Well, after experiencing a tragedy, people heal in different ways. We talked to a mom who wrote a book about loss and how the book started a community. Don't change that channel. After something tragic happens, there is healing when you pay it forward. And that's exactly what our next guest is doing.
Carol Mack is here to tell her story of the gift of the ladybug and how she's helping others who have had a similar experience. So Carol, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's nice to talk with you today. So your book, The Gift of the Ladybug, was born out of one of the darkest days of your life. So tell me about your journey and how you turned that into this book.
Sure. So it came to me literally on the day that I found out my son is going to live a short life. It was the day I got a terminal diagnosis. The doctor said, your son's going to live not to see his second birthday. And I didn't know what to do. And then I had this flash of this story, and it's of two horses who have a ladybug son, and the horses are big and strong, and the ladybug is tiny and delicate and flies, and he's obviously very different from the horses. And the ladybug teaches the horses, you know what? Even though I live a short life and I fly, I am perfect exactly as I am. It's okay. I'm supposed to be this way. I'm meant to be this way. And that is what my son, it's a metaphor for what my son taught me how to live. And it's this most amazing, powerful thing that, you know, acceptance equals power. And it's all of his life lessons in this beautiful children's book.
Wow. So you got that vision. Were you able to write those words down in time to read it to your son, TJ?
Yes, I was, which was the best part. I literally, like 2 days later, I got home and I just wrote the thing in an hour and a half. Turns out horses live 40 years, ladybugs live 1 year, which is wild. Wrote it in an hour and a half. Found it and gave it to TJ for Christmas and was able to read it to him just over and over. And he became our ladybug and my family's ladybug, and Columbus, Ohio, where I lived at the time, ladybug, and everyone was like, okay, it's all okay. Even though this was like my biggest nightmare, TJ said, you can live through whatever struggles you face and have peace and power and love. I was like, if you can do that, you can do anything.
Right. And so this book has really grown, and some of the proceeds you're giving back, because it goes back to, part of it goes to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yes.
So talk about that a little bit.
So part of it goes back to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. In fact, you can buy a book or a ladybug for kids at Make-A-Wish directly or in hospitals, and a percentage of everything we do goes to Make-A-Wish Foundation. And if you go to giftoftheladybug.com, there's a pop-up that says exactly how you can buy a book or a ladybug for a child, and also proceeds go to Make-A-Wish. And the thing goes directly to Make-A-Wish or hospitals.
There's a picture of you and your sweet baby on the back. Oh, that I just love. What a beautiful picture.
Oh, thank you for that.
You guys have donated so much money, and that it just keeps going up, right?
It keeps going up.
Oh my goodness. Do you have an ultimate goal of how much you want to raise? It's sky's the limit.
It's $100,000 in the next 3 years.
Wow.
And $1 million in my lifetime. That's my goal.
Yes.
Wow.
Right?
You're going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
I have absolutely no doubt.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, we got to talk about what's on the table, because you also brought some food and wine. How does that tie into your journey?
Yeah. So I grew up like passionate about food from 8 years old. And so I've always done food, and this happened with my son, and I thought, you know, my son taught me how to live powerfully. I have to get back to that. He wouldn't want me to just be defined by grief and loss. So I got back to my passion of food, and I thought, you know what? If I could do anything, it was like a year after he passed away, and I'm still miserable. I'm like, I can't do this. He wouldn't want this. So I was like, what could I do that would just blow my mind? I would go to Italy, and I would like harvest olives. I would make cheese. I would make wine. And I started being like, oh, that's life. I've got life again. And I went and I did it.
You did it. How long were you there?
I was there for 3 months.
Stop it.
And I'm like, I'm going to follow my dreams. I'm going to make my first television series on my like blog, Chop Sizzle Pop, at the time. And I was able to pull myself out. And it was the sensory experience of tasting food and my passion. And it pulled me out of my grief. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to move to New York City. And I'm going to do grief Like I'm gonna do all of these food bliss things on the regular.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And it pulls you out of grief. And
So
you're like, okay.
So what do you have coming up next? So you're going to turn that into a series.
Yes, so there's a series called Food Bliss coming up.
Okay.
And it's making culinary dreams come true, just like my Italy experience, condensed for someone who's gone through a hard time, to say, you know what, there's joy again, and it's food bliss for the purpose of transformation and healing, just like it did for me. And it's like, you know what, you're going to be happy again. You can do this.
Wow. So you started a journey to become a sommelier. Are you a sommelier now?
I am.
What? Yes! Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow, that is
And can we
incredible.
talk about the wine that
Sure.
you found? I mean, you brought this wine and it has a ladybug on it.
This is why the wine. We just found this and I thought, okay, we have to do this. It has a ladybug. TJ's like all over this, right?
Yes.
So how fun is that?
That's crazy.
Ladybugs are great for like biodynamic, kind of keeping the wine in the vineyards bug-free, disease-free and everything. So it's the perfect thing with wine.
Wow, ladybugs just tie
Yes.
into your
That's a full
everything.
circle.
I mean, what the what? You have a website. It's called wineforfood.com. What do we see on that website?
You see all kinds of things, recipes, videos, 150 videos, and Som School Insider, which is my series Inside Som
so
School.
good.
Thank you so much.
I loved it.
And it's really about making wine fun and accessible.
Okay.
Love
and you
that.
can binge the whole thing 40 minutes on Roku on TV.
Perfect.
Or on wineforfood.com.
Okay,
Lovely.
well, thank you so much for sharing your life with us today.
incredible.
Really, it's going to mean a lot to a lot of people. I'm
such a
going to give
pleasure.
everyone the website, so if they want to purchase the book or find out more about you, all you have to do is go to giftoftheladybug.com.